What's going on, everybody? I'm just here to break down SPU stock from today, 8/31/2016. Sky People Fruit Juice. Yes, there really is a company in China called Sky People Fruit Juice. It's a Chinese low float manipulated stock. It's an easy target because of the low float, and it's had a big move the last few days. Jumped up, dropped yesterday, and then popped up big today, 50%. Part of what's behind the move is supposedly some investment research by Geo Investing, who I had never even heard of until today. We'll get into that in a little bit. But the bottom line is you've got a NASDAQ deficient stock that is not even putting out its earnings reports. It's been filing non-timelies the last few times. And it's a very shady situation. If you look through the news, you see nothing but negativity, non-compliance, and different things. And you can see it ran up to $14 after hours, and it's kind of faded from there, some selling. But no doubt the stock has had 10 million shares traded, which is a lot of volume for this stock. It doesn't usually trade anywhere near that. So to me, it's obviously some big fish is in this ocean and is playing some games here. There's definitely no real interest in a Chinese company that sells concentrated fruit juice, I'm pretty sure. So let's take a look at a couple things. First off, let's look at the earnings. When you look here, you can see that 8/16 non-timely 10Q delayed, 5/16 non-timely 10Q delayed. Obviously, this is because the earnings were probably garbage and they don't want anybody to find out about them. All right, look back even further, and you can see that they did have a 10Q on 11/16. So we're going to take a look at that. Let's see if we can find anything positive with this company. Any reason why somebody want to be long this garbage? Let's look here. Revenue. And by the way, these are unaudited results. No accounting firm has audited these, so it's probably even worse than they're putting here. We don't even know if this is true, but it looks pretty bad as it is. So 34 million 2014 in revenues, and it's dropped big time to 10 million. Gross profit was 10 million 2014, dropped big time to 3 million. Okay, then we come down and we look at another important thing in net income. They swung, as far as we know from the last report, they swung from a $4 million net income to a loss of $369,000. So it's looking pretty bad. Definitely not seeing anything positive here in the earnings. Okay, it's no wonder they delayed the recent ones because they probably don't want anyone to see what's going down. All right, now Geo Investing supposedly did some research on this company, and supposedly they did some on-the-ground due diligence over there in China. They went over to China and they checked out Sky People Fruit Juice to see if it was legit. Now I find that highly unlikely. I don't know for sure. You know, I can't guarantee that they didn't do that, but I just doubt it. Supposedly in the news, the media misconstrued it, and Geo Investing is claiming that they mistakenly made it look like it was a lot more negative than it was. Stock drops. Then they come out and say, oh, no, that's not true. It was actually kind of positive. And then the stock pops. Now, I got a message from Geo Investing in response to what I put out here on Stock Twits. I mentioned this was probably stock manipulation. There's definitely not a real market for this stock. There's nobody truly interested in being in Sky People Fruit Juice because of their amazing fruit concentrate drinks. I'm pretty sure so. But Geo Investing said it's research. We have no control how the media spins it. We give our members concrete information based on our research. It's research. Really? It's just research, huh? Well, if it was just research, then all you guys will be doing is putting out research information. But apparently that's not the case. So let me show you why that's not the case. Because if you do a little looking into Geo Investing, all you got to do is look at their website terms of use, and you can see right here. I have it highlighted. You should assume that as of the publication date of our reports and research, Geo Investing, possibly along with or through our members, partners, affiliates, employees, and or consultants, along with our clients and or investors and or their clients and or investors, has an investment position in all stocks and or options, swaps, and other derivatives related to the stock and bonds covered therein, either long or short, depending on our investment opinion, and therefore stands to realize significant gains in the event that the price of changes in conjunction with our investment opinion. We intend to continue transacting in the securities of issuers covered on this site for an indefinite period after our first report, and we may be long, short, or neutral at any time hereafter, regardless of our initial investment opinion. So you're not just research. You're not just research. You're investing in the stock. You're putting money in it before the reports, and you're making money on when the shares move. You're shorting the stock when the stocks are dropping. You're shorting before you put out the reports, and you've got a lot of other people that are doing the same. As you say here, your investors, your clients, your affiliates, your partners, members, employees, consultants. So you have a lot of other people that are taking positions based on your information. So you're not just a research company. Okay? Now, to be fair, I have no proof that you guys did not go to China and do, on the ground research. I don't have any proof that you're involved in the stock manipulation that's obviously going on in SPU. Although it's very likely that you're involved. You can't prove that unless you're an insider or unless you know what's going on behind the scenes. Okay, so I want to be fair on that. But you can see they're not just a research company, that they're definitely taking positions, and all their people are taking positions as well. Okay? I want that to be clear. And I also want to be clear that I currently have no position in SPU. I have not had a position in the stock for at least 2 months. The last time I took a position in SPU was 622 when I shorted it, and I have not had a position since. So this is not a biased report by any stretch. So let's take a look at a couple other things. You can look here. That I thought it was interesting. I found this little article. Geo Investing is a bunch of short sellers. I thought that was interesting. Sky People Fruit Juice. You can see Benzinga. Benzinga, honestly, oftentimes puts out false information. Sometimes I just don't know if it's orchestrated or if Benzinga is just a pump and dump operation. I just don't know about Benzinga. They supposedly mistakenly put out a lot of wrong information. And I just have this feeling that some people inside are capitalizing on this wrong information. But they do it an awful lot, so they need to start being more careful and checking into the things they're posting. Because, what they post is going to affect people, and it's going to cause people to buy and sell. And they need to take it more seriously. All right? But you can see here that Geo Investing highlighted the relative unknown nano cap company late July, after they entered a new agreement with the Chinese state-owned enterprise SOE. As part of the agreement, a subsidiary of Sky People, I'm not even going to try to say that name, Beverage, agreed to sell a 51% stake of itself to the SOE. The deal would have valued this subsidiary at $100 million or $25 per share. Well, first of all, I can tell you that this stock is not worth anything close to $25 a share. If it's probably worth zero. Okay, we don't even know if those earnings are audited or even accurate, and even the ones that they have posted are terrible. They're postponing and they're not putting out their 10Ks. They're Nasdaq deficient. There's no reason to think the stock is worth $25 a share. Okay, so my guess is that Geo Investing definitely has a long position, and I did ask them. If we go back to the stock twist message, I did ask them. I get it. So you can honestly tell me you aren't long on this Nasdaq deficient, failing China company that delays filings, right? And they didn't answer. So they didn't want to answer me about whether or not they had a long position, because they probably do. Now, whether they had a short position the other day before it dropped, I don't know. But you can probably bet on the fact that they have something invested in SPU, because they didn't put out this report for no reason. So they're definitely going to benefit from the stock. All right. Let's go in here. You can see. Let's see. Here it's saying Geo Investing published a report that was widely misinterpreted by several media outlets. According to Geo Investing, that's Geo Investing's claim. Now, a lot of times media outlets, they'll short and distort things. They buy up somebody inside buys up the stock cheap. They load it up, and then the next day they come out and say, "Oh, we were wrong. It was this way." And then the stock pops back up. And they make a killing on the way up. There's no way to know. That's not what's happening here. There's no way to know. But you can hear, the downside came on belief that nano-cap Chinese stock have lost their swagger thanks to numerous cases of fraud. China stocks are so fraudulent, it's ridiculous. You got to be careful. You probably shouldn't even take a position in a Chinese stock. You should probably just avoid it. Um, yeah, I mean, whether or not when you do get information out of China, you don't even know if it's legitimate. So if someone says that they're going to sell a 51% stake, you can't even know if that news is legit to begin with. You can't count on it, so it could be baloney. I mean, are we going to fly to China like Geo Investing and actually check it out? That's not going to happen. Um, Geo Investing hinted to some positive finding as well, including evidence that the deal values Sky People's subsidiary at 100 billion dollars or $25 a share. Um, no, no, that stock is not worth $25 a share. Period. It's lucky if the stock doesn't even go bankrupt and actually end up going out of business or going on to the OTC market. That would be a miracle in itself. And then you look here, you can see that there's security stock. I mean, security stock fraud. They're talking about here. You've got securities class action lawsuits against the company. Um, you can see down here that it stated that one of the company major acquisitions in 2009, Trusty Foresee, had been 46% owned by a company which in turn was 80% owned by Sky People's CEO and 20% owned by a director of Sky People. So that's a little shady right there as well. So just all you find if you do some DD on this company is just shadiness. That's all you find. So let's go back and let's look at the technicals. You can see that if you look at the 10-day chart, you can see the run. You can see where it dropped the following day, then it popped up again. If you look back, say a few months, you can see where it had a run here up to about 20. There's going to be some resistance here in this area. Let's see if I can make this chart easier to see. Yeah, you can see it's getting close to resistance area. You can see it's right there, the 14.15 there, that 1 month high. It's right there after hours, so that could potentially be some resistance right there. And let's come back and let's check out today. You can see that a lot of times with these pump and dumps, they love to create after hours action because psychologically you see this movement after hours and it kind of sucks you into thinking that maybe this thing is going to run the next day, and then you just find out that that's going to be when it drops, is right off of that after hours high. So that could be what's happening here. They wanted to make sure that it closed right above the high. You can see they popped it right up, made sure it got above that high at the close, and they pushed it up after hours. I see this a lot where they create this after hours activity because after hours is very thinly traded and it's very easy to manipulate. So my theory is that what they do is uh, they create action buying and selling after hours just to suck you in psychologically. A lot of traders will probably, especially newer traders, will probably jump in on this thinking, oh, it's popping after hours, it's going to make a move tomorrow morning, it's going to move big the next day, and then it just falls. So yeah, this is a good resistance area here. You can see it held that 14, and I mean, I really think this thing is going to drop at least 50% in the days to come or weeks to come, and I'm going to put a price target on this thing of $7 a share. I think this move's completely been on hype. I don't think there's any justification. There's just too much negativity surrounding the stock. Supposedly September 1st they're supposed to come out and put out the earnings and whatnot and make it all right. But I have a feeling that we don't even want to see what those earnings are going to be. So um, this is probably a buy the hype, sell the news situation. So if that information does come out tomorrow, it'll probably be negative and it'll probably drop the stock. So if you're long, be sure to lock in the profits. If you have shorts, which I don't happen to have shorts, I don't have borrows in the stock, even if I did want to take a position. So I won't be playing this. But if you do have shorts in it with your broker, you might want to look at the potential of a short play. Just be careful and set a tight stop, because this thing obviously is very irrational and very volatile, and you don't want to get caught having it go against you. All right. So if you have any other questions about it, shoot me an email, bprising1@gmail.com. And don't forget to check out the website at bprising.com and join our team and learn about my short strategies and my small cap trades, and get my stock alerts as well. And that'll be it for now. Until the next video, everyone have a good one. Thanks so much.